Years ago, I used to run a print magazine. I think many of you guys and girls know that. Print magazine made of paper and ink. And I had to raise lots of money for that. And I found myself a mentor who became an investor in my business. And his name is George. And George is a smart guy. And one day he sat down and he said, James, would you like to know how to win an AFL Premiership? Now, I don't know if you're into sport. I'm not really into sport myself. I've got to admit, business is my sport. Now, it doesn't matter if you know what AFL is. It's the Australian Football League, or whether you follow hockey, or whether you follow the NFL. It would be, how do you win the Super Bowl? How do you win the World Cup? George says, would you like to know how to win an AFL Premiership? And I know he's a smart guy, so I leaned in. And he said, James, what I want you to do is I want you to imagine a pyramid. And a pyramid is broken into three parts. And he said, if you want to win a premiership, James, what you need to be doing is you need to make sure that you have the fundamentals in place. So fundamentals in sport are things like making sure that your team are fit, that they are agile, that they are capable, that they know how to do the basics. They know how to kick a ball, they know how to handball a ball, they know their blocks, they know what it is that they need to be able to do. The fundamentals. That's at the big bottom of this particular pyramid. Second piece of the puzzle is about strategy and talent. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have the best talent that we can possibly afford. Surround yourself with smart people so that you can decide on a strategy that's going to be the most appropriate for you, and then you can stick to that strategy and talent rather than just running around. So you need the fundamentals at the bottom, then you need the strategy and talent. What goes at the top of the pyramid? At which point George dropped this word flair. And he said, James, flair is what sits at the top. Flair is the most exciting aspect. Flair in sport, you know it when you see it. It's almost impossible to describe. People that can defy gravity. They can jump to mark a ball, a specky as it's called in Australia. And if you've ever seen an AFL player mark a ball, it's an amazing thing. If you haven't, go look it up on TikTok or go Google it. But these people seem to somehow be able to defy gravity. If you've ever seen like a David Beckham go and kick a ball and watch it curve in the air. If you've ever watched a quarterback dodge and weave between a small army of really big and agile dudes or dudettes to get to the other end and get a touchdown, you know what flair is. Flair is what makes sporting team magic. These are the ingredients for winning an AFL Premiership, at which point he stopped. And I thought, cool. But I knew that George wasn't finished. I knew him well enough. And I said, that's really helpful, George, but please do go on. And this is where George laid down a game changer that changed my life from that day forevermore in a really, really good way. Here's what he said. He said, when I look at your business, do you know what I see? I see an upside down pyramid. And your upside down pyramid, James, is all flair teetering on a peak of fundamentals. And he was correct. Because at this time, I was running a print magazine. We were winning awards. I'd come out of nowhere. I'd just been named Best Small Publisher in Australia twice. Articles were being written about us. We'd even begun to appear in Qantas lounges and airport lounges and Virgin lounges and all sorts of other stuff because we were groovy, we were hip, we were cool. But behind the scenes, I was drowning. Behind the scenes, our magazines weren't going out on time. And because our magazines weren't going out on time, what that simply meant was that we weren't able to issue invoices on time. That meant that we weren't getting paid on time. And if we weren't getting paid on time, we were struggling to pay our staff on time. Ooh. So here I was running a business that was all flair, teetering on a tip of fundamentals. And George said, if I come up to your business, all I need to do is give it one small nudge and wobble, 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 wobble. Your business is going to fall apart. It's going to be a train wreck. It's going to be a complete disaster.